All right. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Lindquist.
Ready.
Since 1958.
58.
There you were. Oh, that's cute. You had your haircut like that and you hated
Almost. This was toward my
Yeah.
face.
it. It was cute, Mom.
Oh, I hated it. Hated it.
Well, hi, Mom. You did that one too.
Yes, yes.
And that eyebrow.
I still do.
Let's show the people. 1958. Joann may have had, can you see, Mom? May have had a little influence on her sense of style. And the nails are a little pointier than you do.
Yes,
Did you ever use copper tone? Of
I
course.
did. We mixed baby oil and iodine.
Yes.
That's what we use for tanning.
Still survived.
What's that one? Well, yes, a good form fit. Love it.
Begins with confidential by Form Fit.
Well, we were
Royal
careful.
lipstick. That's a pretty eyebrow.
Well, of course it
It is. This is my favorite year. Oh, Mom.
Which one? Oh, Mom and baby. Christopher.
And my mom actually did look like this with her children. Maybe not the hair.
My children. My beautiful
What did you do
children.
right after you had Michelle?
We took her in the car from the hospital, went right over to Mr. K's.
But before, were you in a wheelchair? Did you put on a girdle and a
Oh,
straight
no,
skirt?
I was in my room. I did put on a girdle and my dress with a straight
It
skirt.
was a green fitted
Yes,
dress.
yes.
When Dad went to collect the money from friends
Yeah.
to pay for it, which was about $200.
$250, I think, is all it cost.
And then you went to
At Mr. Kennedy's house to show him our baby and thank him.
for the money. Oh, he helped, and so you went right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Oh, good gosh,
Ridley.
I think we just went home.
And you had your first baby girl.
Yeah, in a little bitty crib in our room.
I wasn't there, so I don't remember.
We did the same thing with you.
Don't remember that. I remember Eden Prairie. So then when I was born, what do you recall on January 24th, about 11 in the morning, 1964?
It was earlier than that in the morning.
Well, that was
When we got
on my
there.
birth certificate, yeah.
Well, that's when you were born, but I got there before that.
Okay.
So it happened to be sort of a blizzard that day, and as Dad pulled into the hospital, he slid and almost hit a sign of some sort. It was kind of icky weather.
This was in the morning.
In the morning, yep,
Okay.
probably around 8:30 or
Okay.
so. And you were born around 11:50 something, I think.
I think so.
But anyway, what I remember is taking you home.
No, the easiest thing about me was giving birth.
Well, that's
and then
true.
As soon as she was done with me, she put on her baby doll nightie and
Yes.
asked for lunch.
Yes, I did, in the post-delivery room.
What color was it?
That was lavender, I
Oh.
believe. Lavender, it wasn't a nightie, it was baby doll pajamas.
Baby doll pajamas.
Yes,
Lavender.
lavender. And I was hungry, had to have lunch. So then,
Not much has
Eventually.
changed there.
eventually took you home. And Mother was there, Grandma
Oh.
was there.
In Ridley?
Yes.
Just sitting in Ridley.
Well, she was with Michelle.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So she stayed with me a few days, and you're gonna love this part. Of course, because it was the thing to do, we had to have him circumcised. Do you like this part?
No, I remember hearing about it. I don't think I was pleased with that, I would imagine.
Well, you weren't pleased with anything. The only time you were pleased is if you were right here. But, yeah, like my baby. Of course. Still like it there. Anyway,
Nice tiny waist, you still have a belt like that? Somewhere, right? I haven't seen it.
probably.
And you punch extra holes in it because it was too big and it's like a 19-inch.
It was smaller than that. I had 17 to 18 inch waist at one time in my life.
Yeah.
But anyway, got you home, and in the middle of the night, of course, had to get up and feed you and so forth, and
Of
change
course,
your diaper.
by no means would she breastfeed though, because peasants do that.
That is not what I thought. I just didn't want to.
Yeah, okay. You
And
still want to breastfeed.
I was working with pediatricians, and he said, there's no reason that you should have to.
Yep.
But the lady in the room with me, big woman, homely, really homely.
Don't say that. That's politically incorrect, Mother.
Well, she was
Homely.
really not
Anyway.
so nice looking.
Okay.
And she had the most beautiful baby. Of course, it was about 10 pounds, so it looked half grown, but it was a beautiful baby. Anyway, she was very upset with me because I was not breastfeeding.
But then you got back into your
Yeah, my girdle.
faster than she did.
I don't think she
Oh,
ever...
she was upset, so she was probably right.
She was,
I mean, right
that
according
just
to
isn't right.
lore, right.
Well, the pediatrician I worked for came in, of course, and I mentioned it to him, and he said, you're perfectly fine, just the way it is. Okay, so, I got home, and that night I had to change your diaper, and I put you on
Oh, I
the
was
kitchen
circumcised.
table,
Okay.
and he pulled his legs up, and there was this sore teeny
Penis.
peeny, and and pulled his feet right up to it and screamed, and I couldn't get his feet down and get the diaper on. Finally, Mother came out, and I said, I can't do this, Mother. She said, oh yes, you can. And it worked.
She fixed it.
She helped me,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
And
both
we
of you had
didn't-
Avon powder.
Yes, but we did not have disposable diapers. They were all cloth diapers for you.
Wash them and all that.
Yeah,
But
all
then-
that stuff.
Tell the people what happened when I couldn't sleep all the time because I was fed pablum or whatever it was instead of breast milk.
Wasn't the reason.
You don't know that.
I do know
That first 1 year picture of me where I'm all puffy, that's me after eating the wrong stuff. What I look like in the morning. You had these dishes. You had these
Yes.
those bowls in yellow. Anyway, so she put peanut butter all in my bottle.
So the fact was, he never stopped bawling, and he had such a loud voice, and so I went to work and told Dr. Stomp,
What?
you're gonna give me a heart attack one of these days,
Well,
I'm
let's
telling
do
you.
it that way.
Yeah, quick.
Oh.
But anyway, I told him he wouldn't stop crying, and I wasn't getting any sleep, and so he said, put a little of this phenobarb in his bottle when he goes to bed. Okay, so I did. I only did it once. He makes it sound like I drugged him every night.
But it
I
was
did
the
not.
best night's sleep I ever had. Now they have Ambien.
Yeah, you poor thing.
So this is our now what? What are you having for a cocktail, Joanne?
I don't know, what is it? You brought it.
It's a faux Bacardi cocktail.
Faux Bacardi. Mm.
Because Joanne wants a Bacardi cocktail in a stemmed glass because it's pink and has a lovely shape that goes with her fingernails. Notice? This is a little too masculine. So, you know, there's more to it than just have
Ladies like stemware. And really, you're supposed to hold it like this. But I find it very difficult to,
Are those your nails?
yes,
There's no acrylic or anything?
no.
They're holding in night? Are they all there?
Well,
Except
they're
that one.
all here, but this broke off, this one's about to.
But it's pretty. Looks
Thank
good. Did it all by herself at 70 years old.
Are you gonna get it right?
77. September 21st. Right?
Yes,
1940.
yes.
Oh.
I'm glad it was 1940 because I can hardly, that's the best way for me to remember how old I am. This is what we made in home ec, only
Oh.
we didn't have the biscuit around it. It was delicious. We wrapped bacon around it
Oh,
instead.
that would be.
And we made it in home ec, and so when I was first married, we were first married in our first apartment, and I had
In
no
Minneapolis?
idea
No,
how to
in
cook.
California.
This was in California.
California.
I had
No money.
no money and no idea how to cook, but I remembered that, so I
Nothing has
fixed that.
changed. I'm sorry.
I know how to cook, I just don't like to
Yeah,
cook.
you're right. You know how you hate it.
I don't hate it, I'm just,
You'd rather do something else.
I'd rather paint the house.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So you were just married. You're 20 years old.
19
You're 19. This is what year? 1960.
May.
Okay. So now just married in an apartment in Los Angeles area, Van Nuys Boulevard,
Mhm.
and you have no money. And then what? And you had to cook something.
Well, I fixed those hot dogs.
Oh.
You know,
Because you
and-
knew how to in-home mac. I get it.
Yes,
Okay.
but see, and your dad knew how to cook because he worked in fast food
And his mother was a
food.
cook.
And his
Yeah.
mother was a cook, and he liked food, and he was good at it. He just was messy, really messy.
Yeah.
But
Like
anyway,
his mom.
yeah.
And his
So
son.
we had those things.
I make good food though. I do.
You do?
I can cook really well.
Can you imagine that?
No, you can.
I just don't
When
want
did
to.
you start that?
Somewhere.
Somewhere along the line.
When Robert stopped doing it, I'm like, I better make something.
Oh.
Anyway, so you were cooking and
So then I went down to the store, which was about a block from where we lived, and I bought a whole chicken one day. And I had a cookbook that Lee Inglis had given me for a shower. And so I looked it all up, how to do this chicken.
it's a Betty Crocker one?
Yes,
It's a plaid one?
but I had to cut it up.
Oh,
And I really did not have,
a knife.
I didn't have anything big enough or sharp enough, but I did the best I could. I don't think there was a bone in that whole chicken by the time I got done.
Bet your
I
nails were
managed to
pretty,
pull
though.
pull it off the bone.
And then what'd you do with it?
I tried to fry it.
All that. And then what? With
Dad
oil?
was very
Nice.
nice about it. He said it was fine, and I thought, well. Anyway, I learned after that,
So tell me about the time when you had no money,
which was all the time.
all the time, but Dad made something with an egg and
Oh, yeah, I was by that time pregnant with Michelle, and we had moved out of this complex, and I worked part-time, full-time at a financial company.
doing what? You worked at full-time at a financial company?
Yes,
Okay.
I.
You're 19 and pregnant?
Mhm.
Okay.
By then I'm probably 20. I was 20. Anyway, they asked me when I applied for the job if I had any plans for a family. I said no. I was already 4.5 months pregnant. No. So anyway, I worked there for a few months, and then I think we decided to go back to Minnesota. We had managed.
Because you didn't have any money, or like, the
Well-
only reason would be likely.
Partly we didn't have money, but we had been managing this beautiful complex with a swimming pool that this lovely couple that we were the landlords of our first apartment, and they asked us to manage this brand new building. So we were doing that, and we decided it was time, when I was pregnant, it was time to go back home and where there was
'cause-
family.
Yeah, okay.
And we didn't have any money. So a dear lady we had met there, her husband was an Indiana state trooper, and her name was Heine. And she wanted me to name Michelle Mandy. And I said, okay. Well, anyway, she gave me her credit card.
Oh, they had credit cards back then? Right? I know, but did they?
Was her last name
Wasn't
Ho?
it green stamps?
Parada.
No.
Heine Parada?
No, I said, wasn't her last name Ho?
Heine Hall?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Rob.
Well, anyway, her Tony and Heine Parada. So she gave me her credit card so we could have gas money to
To
get
go home.
And we stayed at the Dinosaur Motel somewhere. We thought it was Flagstaff. We thought it was a huge place, you know, because
Arizona.
of
So you're in
big-
Arizona.
Yeah, it was a
Route
big
66 or
star,
something.
big star on the
Oh.
map. Well, of course, it was not the time of year when it was just a boardwalk, nothing happening, at that time of year. So we ended up at this Dinosaur Motel, and they had the kind of bed that you could put a quarter in, vibrating bed. And, we had a 53
You don't
Studebaker.
like anything that vibrates, I know.
Well, I don't
Well,
wanna
I
say
mean,
that.
well, good for you. But a bed vibrating.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was, 5.5 months pregnant by then. We had a little 53 Studebaker, all our worldly possessions packed into it. And I was cramped, and we had been driving for hours and hours, so we decided to stop there. Well, we didn't realize that if you put a quarter in the bed, it would never stop.
Oh, it must have been a flaw. I mean,
Probably, but it just never
vibrated all
stopped.
night.
It was awful. I think we unplugged something. I don't remember what we did, but
Did you
anyway.
have sex?
Heavens, no.
You got the vibrating bread. Oh, yeah, you're pregnant. You don't do that then.
Oh, yes, you do.
Well, some people like it. Anyway. So then you came to...
We got to Minnesota. We ended up at the farm, and I think we had like $1.67 to our names at that point.
And then what? You came to the cities? Or how did you get from the farm?
Yeah.
You got a job. You weren't going to stay in Redwood.
No. We went to Minneapolis and stayed with Maureen
And Tony, yeah.
Ma.
Oh, okay.
And-
Ma being my dad's mother.
Mhm. And then we got our first apartment. 5401 4th Street, I think, right off Highway 100 and University Avenue.
Oh, okay. So this area.
That was our first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he was familiar.
No, it's
Just
just that
sort of
we
this
just
area.
happened to find it.
Oh.
Well, no, it was out on University Avenue.
Oh, that way.
out.
Okay.
Fridley.
Yeah, you were in Fridley.
Now what?
Now, then you had the baby, and then you had another baby. Then you built your house in Eden Prairie in the suburbs, and it was your dream house, and you built the whole thing together, and then you left that, and we moved back to Redwood, and then we went through the 70s.
Yes, we were in Redwood 10 years, and then we moved to North Carolina.
Okay. So
We
now
were there for
no,
10 years.
No, Indiana.
Oh, Indiana, I'm sorry. We moved to Indiana. We
When
were
I was
there
in
10
college, they
years.
put me into college, St. Olaf College. I think the income on your thing was $13,000 a year, something like that.
I don't. Our income? Oh, no. One of them was 6,000.
But together it was $13,000, I think.
I don't think so.
Not
But-
that much.
Mm-mm.
But you got me into St. Olaf College, you moved to Indiana, Dad got this job, and then Michelle was pregnant and she had a baby there, and then you raised your grandson.
She had the baby in Redwood,
Oh, well, that's right.
and then moved to Indiana with us.
Okay, so Michael went there, then that happened, then she had babies, now her babies are in their 30s
Grown.
and 20s.
Michael's 35, and Joanna is what, 24? I'm not sure. Right?
Still a cute little haircut, right? Razor cut,
Mm-hmm. Cute.
cute.
So,
That's our life story, and that's now what? So you'll know a little bit more about my mother.
Now what?
Because everybody loves you so much, Mother. You're so wonderful, and I'm so awful. I know that.
you're Christopher the goat now.
I know. But all of this is you.
Go sure.
Like, check out.
Almost did it. I'm not dramatic, but I hated to have that nice cocktail spilled all over.
All over this table,
It's
which
got-
you just
it-
gave me.
But it, yes, which belonged to his great-great-grandmother.
Notice the hairstyle.
You're crazy.
I am. Well, you love me.
Of course I do.
So-
Only thing that would make this better is if your sister was sitting right
Oh,
there
that would be
visiting
good. That
with
was
us.
good. I know.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
fun?
yeah. And if Dad were here, that would.
Yes, that would be good too. But there's not any chance of him coming back.
No.
But
In our
Shell
dreams.
still could.
Yes. So this is where my mom sits and does her nails, and so there's nail polish. She said I could fix it, and I thought, I'm gonna have to excuse me, I'm going to have to leave that there because then it'll be something I remember you by.
And it's worn right there because that was my side of the table.
You like having lunch?
Pardon me?
This was our dining room table. We did not eat at it. We ate it in front of the TV.
On TV.
She worked
trays.
all day. We had to have whatever you could make, and you make stuff.
I certainly did. But we used TV trays and watched TV, and like Sunday night, we'd have a
Does
Sunday
anyone know what
night
a TV
special.
tray is?
We'd have a Sunday night special. I'd have
This
a
is
big
true.
tray about this big. First of all,
Yes,
we'd
I
have
know.
a big bowl of popcorn.
Yep.
And then I'd make
Fill it.
fudge.
Mm-hmm. Popcorn.
And then as the kids got a little older,
Summer
we added,
sausage, cheese,
that's
apples.
when we added that.
Okay.
When you got a little bit bigger.
Oh. That was just like Sunday night we watched TV. We probably ate. But that
Disney.
That became
Walt Disney at
yes, Wonderful
6:30.
World of Disney.
Yeah.
You don't want to see anything to do with what was it? Green eggs and ham.
Oh,
Dr.
Dr.
Seuss?
Seuss?
She didn't like Dr.
I didn't
Seuss.
like Dr. Seuss.
Why, Mom?
I don't know, I didn't like it.
'Cause they were ugly.
Grotesque
They're
characters.
ugly.
I don't like any children's books that have ugly characters. I liked pretty characters.
Perhaps it was the way I was raised.
Well, can't help
I
it.
agree. No, I mean I did like Dr. Seuss, but
Oh, well,
But that's why everyone thinks you're so strange and I'm so strange, but they love you.
I'm glad to hear that, everyone.
Apparently,
Thank you.
yeah. Look at her hair moves with the new hairspray. I know it won't look like that in the morning.
No, I know it won't. But that's okay. I'll fix
Feel it though. You can feel.
I can
think
feel.
that hairspray is nice.
It is
like
good.
you could then
It's very
seal
nice.
it with something.
And I like the makeup you have. The makeup.
It
Mm.
looks pretty. You look just like you. And I like the little bit of plum in the liner.
Good.
And the brows. It's a good color.
Yeah. It's the makeup. That,
And once you put it
Makeover
on,
Guy
you look like
minutes.
this.
oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be fun? We did that once,
We
20
did it
years
once.
ago.
We did it. Who paid for the facelift? For me.
Who paid for the facelift for me? My
I
son
know.
Christopher did it.
But be nice to your mother.
He's been very nice to me. And he
Was that hard
he
to
did,
say?
He did no. I always say that.
I've
He
heard-
designs gowns for me. He bought me a fur coat. He took me to Europe. I mean, you know, I couldn't
Got
ask
her
for.
current husband.
Oh yes. Well, I didn't want a current husband. I didn't want anything to do with that. Been married 42 years, and I was not wanting to do that.
But she didn't want to be a burden to her children.
And Christopher was scared to death he might have to wipe the oatmeal off my chin, so he sent my phone number.
That was a little bit, but also I said to her, if you don't want to be a burden to your children, then you're going to have to be a burden to someone else, and if you're going to be a burden to someone else, you know, when you're going to meet that person to Match.com, so get down and put that in there. I think it was
So
sort of like that.
he put me on Match.com. He was screening
She didn't
applicants.
have a computer because it's the death of the world, you know.
It is going to be
I
the
know.
demise.
I know. It
It's
probably
already
is.
happening.
The ATM, Lois wouldn't put her money in an ATM because we don't know where that money's going.
Well, look at, they're already talking about this, how terrible it is and how things are being hacked and
You wouldn't have met him without a computer, Mom.
true. And so Christopher sent my phone number to 2 or 3 men, and this one called me, Donald, dear Donald Donnie darling.
Donald Duck.
And what did he say?
Made a call
I
to
thought you
Donald
said
Duck.
Duck.
Yeah, Donald Duck. Anyway, I liked him. We started dating, and when I retired, we ended up buying a house together in St. Cloud.
Yeah, and it's been
And he's
good.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I love him dearly.
I know.
He's
Makes me
very
very
good
happy.
to me. Yeah.
She went from being an old widow who hadn't had sex in 20 years to a woman who started to wear some perfume.
I always did that.
Mom, we bought lingerie. You hadn't bought lingerie. You didn't wear No, Mom.
Oh, you mean like
Pretty
sexy
thing. Yeah.
tight teddies and
Yeah,
things?
and you didn't really like that. You like a man's shirt kind of thing, silky man's shirt, rather than frilly things, because it makes you itch. But I
No.
bought her a bodysuit, body stocking.
Oh God, that
She
was
ca-
awful.
She called me and said, I don't look too bad. You did, the black one?
Oh, but it was bad.
No,
I
no,
mean,
everything.
well, I was thinner then. But this is before I met Don.
Yeah, I know. I was just prepared.
He was trying to get me ready for all of this, so.
And you changed, and I saw you change, and how you walked, and suddenly I saw the joy in the way you walked, and you were sexy and fun, and it wasn't the end of the world. You know, it was terrible.
Sure seemed like it.
Of course, it was terrible, and so many women out there are like, oh, I'll never, eat, and I would say the
It
same
can
thing.
happen.
Yeah, I guess so, because
It can
it's been,
happen.
how long now?
11 years.
11 years you've been with someone, so I don't have to deal with her, and he has to.
Oh, well, he's very nice to me. He's good to me.
Yeah,
And he doesn't say naughty things to me like you do.
I know. He knows better. He'd like to.
No,
In
he
his
doesn't.
mind, you
He
think.
never would. He never would.
That's lovely.
It is. Lucky
I'm not
me.
that way,
I know you. I
I'm not that
noticed.
way.
I noticed that.
and I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be, Mom.
As I was telling one of our clients, we were doing the silhouette analysis, and Christopher was across the room doing hair. And I don't know what he said, but we both burst out laughing, and I said, "You will hear and see most anything
Here
here."
today.
Yeah. You
She was
will
fun.
hear and see most anything here.
Is this going?
Yep.
It's run out of film or anything? Okay.
Christopher doesn't have a whole lot of filters.
Well, if I do, I explode.
I know, you were a baby.
Kills me.
But you see, he's always been that way.
What am I supposed to do?
He was never really naughty. He was just busy, curious and busy,
And
smart.
everything was the good for something better. I don't think I've ever deliberately like, I'm going to just do that.
No, you've never been
And
like
destroy
that.
it.
No.
And I wouldn't step on an ant just to like see the ants being stepped on. It was like, I'd
No,
step in a puddle.
You'd just
I'd fall in a river.
take a tape and string it
Yeah.
across the street from
Yeah.
one tree to the other.
Yeah.
So the cars coming by could see it fluttering in the sunshine and almost.
I thought it was like a.
He thought it was really fun.
Like a car would go through like a, whatever that is, and finish the line thing.
Mhm.
Like, oh, here's a cassette tape, let me try this. I didn't know that they would slam on the brakes and the police would be called. And luckily they thought it was Fredrickson's instead of me. But the intent was not,
No, it wasn't bad.
I just thought it'd be kind of fun, like,
I know.
to the finish line.
Well, that's the kind of thing you did on occasion, yes. I've learned a lot more, though, over the years since you've become an adult. And
What I did?
when I talk with your sister
I know.
or with your cousins.
She did, they haven't totally known
Cousins
everything.
or friends, I'm learning things. Mothers, those of you whose children are not grown yet, just wait.
Oh,
You'll
they all
learn all
think that.
kinds of things.
Like, my son is 15 and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, he's totally, he's doing that.
So that's all I know today.
Do you love me?
Oh, I adore you, you know that. Always adore you, you know that, don't you? Okay. Thank you for everything. And, of course, the fact that he has included me in this operation of his studio and his talent, and allowed me to be here and work with him.
I had to bring the old lady. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's your mother. God. Gotta keep her, get her out of the house.
And not only that, poor Robert has to put up with me too now. And he's wonderful at it.
Right, Rob? He will agree. Well, I guess we're ending it. And we're just saying goodnight. But this is the now up for tonight or whatever it is. But this is the kind of
Now
stuff I
what?
want to do, Mom. I want more video. It is not a beauty salon. It's a studio.
It is.
It's a studio where we create beauty and we inspire people however we do. Entertainment. It should be entertaining. Look how pretty you look.
Thank you.
Well, you do.
Well, I can't
Does
see
she?
me.
In the camera?
Oh yeah, gorgeous.
Robert's ready to go home.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Well, I don't blame him.
very beautiful. I'm just hungry.
He's just,
Okay. He's hangry. So
Hungry.
let's get some chili for you to take home. Good
no,
night.
I don't need, good night, honey, thank you. I don't need chili.
You were going to take something home.
No, Donna's already eaten, so I don't need, I've got stuff I can eat.
Why didn't you
So
take-
don't buy me any chili.
No. Okay. Bacardi cocktail. I forgot that it's actually Bacardi.
Oh, it isn't. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I just said make it pink. Is it like?
Smell it. Yeah, it smells like hair or something.
It smells like cleaning fluid.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it's weird.